Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Woo! They call Alabama the Crimson Tide. They call me the Duval Blues. Not the Deacon Blues. The Duval Blues. And we're going to attack that tonight as we do get things rolling. Bama's been a home favorite for 113 consecutive games. That has now changed. Georgia rolls in a 2-point favorite. What an unbelievable college football game scheduled for Saturday night. Since 2000, Kirby, all right, little Kirby. Kirby can't be big. Kirby can't be stout, right? Kirby can't have a neck. Kirby's got to be, a Kirby. He's 56-1 since 2000. He's 1-3 against Alabama. 56-1 against everyone else. Only 1-3 against Alabama. It's an enormous game for Georgia. I think they're going to win this by 7 to 10 points. I do. They totally fooled around with Kentucky. I thought Kentucky on that particular day beat them in the ditch, both offensively and defensively. Kentucky ran for 170 yards. The last time Georgia did win in Alabama was 2007, and those numbers are a little bit skewed because it's not like it's a Florida-Georgia or Georgia Auburn, oldest rivalry in the South. It does skip quite a few years in the overall series, 43-26-4, 4 ties historically speaking there for Alabama and Georgia. Hey, whether you're ready or not, you got Dallas and Philly tonight. Excuse me, Dallas and New York tonight. And if there's anything you can ask for in this game, it's for, Daniel Jones not to have a great effort. Right now, believe it or not, his quarterback rating lifetime is better than Trevor Lawrence. All right, here we go. Let's get to the Duval Blues. 84-5 in the career for Trevor Lawrence, 84-7 for Daniel Jones. You could spin it. I know we're in the world of that, right? Everyone loves to spin. You can cook books. You can say this. You can say that. Man, does that stink. No way around it. All right. The Jaguars 0-3. They go to Houston. They're 2-1. Houston favored by 6. Your total 45.5. We're 35 minutes away from a breakdown from the Philadelphia Godfather. We will take a look at this matchup. We will take a look at Georgia and Bama. Okay. We will take a look at Miami and Virginia Tech. And we will take a look at Florida State, who is leaving today, not tomorrow, because of the hurricane on their way to Dallas for SMU's opener in the Atlantic Coast Conference. So all that coming up again in about 35 minutes. Just talked about it with Frank and Hayes. Their last meeting between the Jags and the Texans was back on November 26th. That was in Houston. Jacksonville, a winner there, 24-21. The Jags have won 2 out of the last 3, as I said, both of those in Houston. Prior to that, Houston had gone on a nice little streak. They had won 9 in a row in this series, which overall favors the Texans 29-15. I think I failed in the world of football analysis. I think I have failed in the world of football prognostication. If I could do it all over again, I'd be a gumshoe detective, okay? And my primary point would be to try to figure out what in the hell is going on with this offense. Why is it so bad? It was built to be explosive. It was built to be a game-breaking offense. It was built to have now 2 guys who can run. And I guess to a lesser extent they have. It's just been diminished because of how poor the offensive display has been. These numbers are insane. Okay, Monday night, Buffalo puts together an opening 10-play drive. They went 70 yards. They took 6.5 minutes off the clock. What does Jacksonville do? Okay, boys, let's respond. 3 and out. Not only a 3 and out, 3 plays, 1 total yard. You go back to opening day. Remember the sacks? Remember Calais Campbell? Now, they did solve it before the ETN fumble, but still, that opening drive in Miami, Jacksonville goes 3 plays, negative 14 yards. The home opener, week 2, here come the Cleveland Browns. What does Jacksonville do on that very first drive? 5 plays, 15 yards. For those of you who are scoring at home, 3 games, 3 opening drives, a total net of 2 yards. Okay? That is absolutely, positively staggering. It's abysmal. And frankly, there's not an excuse in the world that can cover up numbers like that. Can you imagine being ready for your job? I don't care what it is. I don't care if you dig a ditch. I don't care if you perform open heart surgery. Can you imagine in 3 consecutive drives, your total net is 2 yards? That is a complete lack of professionalism. That is a complete lack of execution. There is no game plan. You can blame the scheme. You can blame the play calling. You can blame the offensive line. You can blame Trevor. You can blame anyone. I don't care. What do you say to each other? What do you say to your defense? What do you say to your coaches? What do you say to your fans? When you come out like that, week after week after week, you are terrible to start a football game. It gets even worse. Are you ready for this? Grab the steering wheel with both hands. The Jaguars in the first quarter this year, in 3 games, have a combined 40 yards passing. Trevor Lawrence, not in one game, not 40 yards in one quarter. I'm talking about 45 minutes of playing time. Quarter number 1 in Miami, quarter number 1 against Cleveland, quarter number 1 against Buffalo. 40 total passing yards. 40 in 3 games. All right? I mean, again, it's beyond frightening. It's beyond disappointing. This thing needs a major makeover. And frankly, I don't even know where to begin. I want to have a little bit of fun with you today. I did because it's so comical. It's so bad around here. It really is that, it's such a lengthy conversation on who to blame and who to give a pass to. Now it's out that Devin Lloyd hurt his knee. He didn't practice today. So you're already without Foye Oluokun. And that's always the most convenient excuse. And there's some legitimacy to that when it comes to injuries. But I was driving in. I was thinking, who are the top 12 players on this team? I know that's a struggle. But who are the top 12 players? So I just wrote them down. Scratched it right down here on a piece of paper. And this isn't in exact order. It was kind of an impromptu 12-man list. Here goes. Josh Allen, I have at number 1. Okay, Pro Football Focus told us last week he was outstanding, 80.1, highest graded Jaguar. For the season, Josh Allen has 9 tackles and 1 sack. I'll ask you. Okay? Again, I don't know. I'm a gumshoe detective here. Clearly I failed. Even though I had him going 1-3, I still have him going to the playoffs. Again, I'm resetting myself. I'm rebooting myself. 9 tackles, 1 sack. You tell me. What's your grade on Josh Allen? Number 2, Foye Oluokun. Fantastic football player. One of the most underrated players in the league. He's going to be out for some time. That's a big blow. He was playing good ball. Give him a plus. Number 3, Trevor. He's completing 52.8% of his passes. And he is running a helter-skelter offense. He's got a quarterback rating of 75.1. It's been a failure so far for Trevor Lawrence. Christian Kirk, nothing. He was targeted last week. I think he had 8 or 9 targets, 7 receptions. Okay, a glimmer of hope. You hope his best football is ahead of him. He proved last year when he went out and they asked Ridley to take over that responsibility. That wasn't going to happen. Okay, but so far, it's been a failing grade for Christian Kirk. Am I right? Am I wrong? 641-1010 text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Evan Ingram, injured. Big blow. It's a huge blow. He's a really good football player. He is a safety blanket for Trevor Lawrence. Caught 114 balls a year ago. Has a hamstring. That hurts. Tyson Campbell, injured. Same deal. You're missing your best corner. You've been without Darnell Savage. You hope he returns Sunday. Missing Tyson Campbell is a big blow. They have attacked Jarian Jones. They have attacked Christian Braswell. They have attacked Buster Brown. It's not the same. It's not. Jones maybe at some point could be more of the nickel guy, as we know, in for Savage, but the early return is not good with Campbell out. Trayvon Walker. That's probably the most intense conversation that we have here. 2 sacks, 14 tackles, playing well, certainly did in the opener. But is he playing like the number 1 pick in the National Football League draft? And you compare that to Aiden Hutchinson, and again, it just doesn't show you any positivity. Travis Etienne, all right, the fumble sticks out. The fumble's what really hurts. He's averaging 4.6 yards. A little bit of that was in some garbage time the other night against Buffalo. 36 carries, 164 yards. Not catching as many balls this year as he did a year ago. I would give him a passing grade, but not probably what you expected 3 games in. Brian Thomas Jr. has been as advertised. 17.2 yards on average. That was about his average last year at LSU. It was the highest in the NCAA during the 2023 season. More targets hopefully are coming. Okay, Brian Thomas Jr. has played well so far this year. There are still situations, though, you look at Miami where he caught all 4 balls that were thrown to him. Then in the second half, he didn't even get an attempt. I mean, again, it just kind of it goes to the way that this season is taken off. Eric Armstead. Someone ring my bell when Eric Armstead finally makes a play, okay? Because I have yet to see it. I know he got 1 sack. I don't think they're using him right. He was a backup edge the entire time. I mean, I was under the assumption it was going to be Trayvon, it was going to be Josh Hines-Allen, it was going to be Eric Armstead, and who knows, Mason Smith or Devon Hamilton as your front. It's not. I mean, this team at 0-2 on Monday night started Tyler Lacey, Jeremiah Ledbetter, Yasir Abdullah. Those were your 3 starters? They were. Devin Lloyd, I thought he played well early. Boy, did he get exposed in the passing game against Buffalo. He just could not keep up with those guys. And you thought when he was supposed to be the Mike that he was no longer going to draw that responsibility. We've been waiting for 3+ years. Have him get after the quarterback. Send him in. All right? Thought he played some good ball early. What does he have here? Let's see. 21 tackles, but he just looked really out of place on Monday night. Then Anton Harrison, who out of everyone I mentioned, arguably the biggest disappointment so far this year. Okay, his last 9 games as a rookie on the right side didn't allow a sack. He is not off to a good start this year. So why did I bring that up? JJ and I talked about it the entire offseason. This is how you win in this league. You draft and re-sign your own players. You bring in free agents to fill glaring holes. You draft a franchise quarterback and develop him. And finally, good players have to be great. Good players have to be elite. Okay? Not average, not good, not a smidge above, elite. The best of the best, right? Buffalo has great play. Buffalo has plugged in I've heard some excuses as well. It's a brand new wide receiver core. Look at Buffalo did. They plugged in a totally new wide receiver core. And when you have a quarterback, when you have a leader, when you have an elite player like Josh Allen, he makes everyone else around him a better football team. Out of everything that the Jaguars have done, 3 games in, that is the biggest failure. Players are not great here. They're overpaid here. And there's a couple of other big ifs coming. And those big ifs should be no. Are you going to pay Andre Cisco top 5 money as a safety? Has Andre Cisco done anything in your eyes to earn himself top 5 money as a safety? No. The safety position has been just awful for the Jaguars so far. Antonio Johnson's played every snap for the Jaguars. He looks lost. I'm being kind here. He looks lost. So I'm giving up the analyst bid, at least for tonight. I may go back to it tomorrow. Instead, I'm doing a little bit of investigating. And I'm asking you, how did this happen? How do you fix the approach? When I think of an approach, I think of being 165 yards away, light wind, blowing east to west. He's muscled up. Looks like he's going to take a 7-iron here, try to run this right up to the pin. That's what I think of when it comes to approach. Look at the Jaguars' approach on offense. How did this happen? And how did we not see it? They practiced hard. They coached hard. The effort was there. The production was there. How did it all fall apart? That remains one of the biggest mysteries for the 2024 season, at least so far, how this thing is completely and totally unraveled. All right, we got a ton to do as we get things cranked up right here. It is a Thursday night edition. Let me tell you about Schmunez Vision. Hey, if you don't have good eyes, that's a good thing, maybe, if you're watching football, right? But come on. You want to give yourself a good set. And I say it all the time. If something else gets a little bit sideways or scary when it comes to your body, right, you immediately contact a doctor. But when it comes to your eyes, it's one of those deals where I'll get to it when I get to it. Forget about getting to it later. Get to it right now. Schmunez Vision, family organization, personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care, including Dr. Neo Schmunez, who performed surgery on my right eye 8.5 years ago. There's never been a setback. I spoke with him. He said, we need to go in immediately and remove this. We did. He did. And it was perfect. That's the comfort you get. That is what you expect when you become a part of the Schmunez family. Check them out online. Go to Schmunez Vision. Also get plenty of testimonials on Instagram at Schmunez Vision as well. I am fired up for a Thursday night. I hope you are as well. JJ LaSelva joins us next, the Philly Godfather, in 20 minutes. This is Into the Night.
Hey, I know if you give me time, baby, we can do whatever we want. Look past left prong. Oh, one, ready?
I'm David Garrard on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big this summer. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime powertrain and a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give us the opportunity to earn your business today. Atlantic Boulevard, Jacksonville, or visit JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Welcome to the family.
Hello, Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically, if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari, at Bari Orthopedics.
Are you ready to upgrade your home? Experience the winning combination of style and performance with Renewal by Andersen energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and doors. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires September 30th and restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
I insist on complete honesty.
You can chime in anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
If you have something to say to me, I wish you would just say it.
Share your opinion.
Are you nuts? What?
641-1010.
It's crazy.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Right now, they're on their way to ruin your day. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. And if you're not prepared, you will suffer. Yes, it's that time of the year. Heat and humidity are attacking North Florida. But help is at hand. Call Mike Merritt's Heating and Air Conditioning. Mike Merritt has a license to chill and lets you maintain your comfort zone at a bargain price. How? Mike Merritt stands ready to help, routine or emergencies. And Mike Merritt knows emergencies can happen at any time. So with Mike, there's never any overtime charges. And Mike's team works without commissions. Merritt will never try to sell you parts you don't need. You can't trust just anyone with a truck. Call Mike Merritt, the company North Florida has trusted for 35 years. Call today. License number CAC 050384.
We love talking sports on 1010XL, and I9 Sports loves giving kids the perfect way to grow up playing sports. Fall and winter registration is underway. Log on to i9sports.com and see all they've got to offer. Kids 3 and up. You can enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay. Sign up now for fall and winter. Great locations added like Fort Family Field, Westside Middle, and Duval Charter Bay Meadows. It's all online at i9sports.com.
It's time to take it back to the 90s, Jags fans. Be at the bank Sunday, October 6th, as we debut our Prowler throwback jerseys against the Colts and induct legendary head coach Tom Coughlin into the pride of the Jaguars at halftime. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. You're not going to want to miss this matchup. Lock in your seats now by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
The average cost associated with childhood cancer is a startling $833,000. This is Tom Coughlin, and September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. help the J Fund raise awareness to help our neighbors and community members tackling this devastating disease. Visit tcjfund.org/September for more information.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Philly Godfather coming up in 14 minutes. Already fired up about that conversation. Tonight's program brought to you by Thermal Engineers. They are an expanding company. They are growing day by day. HVAC contractor for more than 20 years right here. Commercially speaking, in North Florida. Qualified technicians and installers. Let me ask you this. Are you unhappy where you're at? Have you gone sideways? Have you not advanced at your current place of employment? If so, Thermal Engineers is hiring. Top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. All right? Really good buddy of mine, Eric Neal, had been in the industry forever. Same company for more than 20 years. He just got up and left because the offer was just too good to turn down at Thermal Engineers. You need to check him out. Go to Thermal Engineers, Inc. That's Thermal Engineers, Inc. It's an equal opportunity employer. You can call them at 230-1172. But again, top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. Check out the good folks over at Thermal Engineers. Go to Thermal Engineers, Inc. JJ, what's up? Well, we got a game tonight. We got a couple of big games tomorrow night, including the U. You would think they would not let down against Va-Tech because it's a rivalry for them, but I noticed it's either the biggest or the second biggest line as far as the margin within that line, historically speaking, between these two programs.
That I didn't know that, but doesn't surprise me. You drop one to Vandy and you drop another to Rutgers. The betting public probably, even though this is a better Vandy and Rutgers than normally, the betting public probably doesn't look too happily on that. So I get it. It's gone from like 17.5. I think it's like 19 now, 19.5. Yeah. But listen, Hurricanes were 4-0 last year going into an ACC matchup at night against Georgia Tech. And if you don't remember what happened in that game, they had it won. They decided not to kneel the ball. They lost. The entire season was up in flames after that. So if it's close at the end of the game, if I could give any advice to Mario Cristobal and company, don't screw around.
I think he's absolutely
learned this lesson.
Learned from that, no doubt about it. I mean, and it feels like, I know I made this comparison before, but when it looked like Florida State had turned things around, Mike Norvell had to go through not playing prevent defense in their loss to Jacksonville State.
Yeah.
And it felt like the same thing that Mario Cristobal had to go through one of those in that loss to Tech. Now, right now, they appear to be on is a totally different.
So much better than last year.
Yeah, I mean, Miami is
so much
is
better.
Legit. Florida State really struggling at this point. They did pick up their first win, but in so many circles, it's already been a lost season for the Seminoles.
And by the way, tonight's game, you just brought it up. Imagine the Cowboy. I mean, I know it's a pretty hot seat here for Doug Peterson, but imagine in Dallas if they lose and drop another one into the Giants. Like, Mike McCarthy might not make it to the end of the season.
No, he may not. And if you look at coaches,
I do like the Cowboys tonight.
Coaches to be fired right now. I have it here in front of us. Mike McCarthy is a 3-1. Doug Peterson is 4-1.
So McCarthy is the favorite.
He is.
Wow.
Yep. Right now, the first coach to get fired
and they have a win
by a nose is McCarthy over Peterson, and it's going to be a real intriguing offseason because I think there's going to be another 5, 6, 7 coaching changes. I mean, for the most part, there are each and every year, but it feels like the three names that are being tossed around the most. Two, we know a lot about, and Bill Belichick, the other, and Mike Vrabel. The other is uncertain when it comes to the offensive coordinator in Detroit with Ben Johnson. But those appear to be the top three most attractive head coaches to be for the 2025
And
season.
you'd think Jerry Jones probably isn't going after an offensive coordinator for the Lions if Bill Belichick's out there, you know? I would imagine that would be the most likely and perfect landing spot for a massive name is to go to the biggest franchise in the NFL.
You know, didn't work with Parcells. I wonder if that has anything to do with it, with the Belichick ego. I mean, that fractured relationship now with Belichick. Of course, they worked together for years, and it didn't work with Bill Parcells. He's got to know that going there, you are totally under a microscope,
right,
and the expectations to win and the pressure of Jerry Jones. Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated talked about the relationship that Belichick has with both Shad Khan and Tony Khan, and that it's very good, in that Belichick was instrumental, in his opinion, when it came to the hiring of Doug Peterson. I'm not going to take a shot at our market and the reporters here, but it's literally night and day. You look at that Dallas market, man. It seems like when they have a press conference, they got 100 reporters that are there. I mean, here in Jacksonville, it's 1/10 of that, or 1/20th.
They'll also be adversarial. Like,
yes,
they'll definitely go after Dak. They go after the head coach. Like, if you're not winning, it's not cool. And that was a great point. Belichick, you know, if he comes here, he has full control. You know, the shot will give him free reign to do whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jerry's willing to do that with anyone.
Well, but that scares me with Belichick. If you look at his last draft classes.
Oh, yeah, like
New
the
England,
last 10-plus years, really.
He failed miserably. He really did. And, you know, Coughlin tried that, and there's been so many that have wanted to do both. I would much rather have my head coach be an offensive head coach who calls plays than bring in a guy who everything goes through him. I just think it's like working 80-hour-a-week jobs at once. It's too much. You've got to have trust in other people. Now, Bill Belichick's opinion certainly is worth everything, but I feel like I want someone else making the draft picks. I want someone else really calling the shots when it comes to free agency. So, you know, that could be a tipping point. And here we talk about how there's not nearly as much pressure on Belichick if he was to come and take over the Jaguars compared to Dallas. Bill Belichick doesn't care about that. You know, he laughs at the media.
It's legacy for him.
It was brutally. I remember when we went in 2017 when they practiced, Jacksonville did, with the Patriots. And out on their practice fields for training camp, no exaggeration here, JJ. This is not embellishment. I bet there were 125 members of the New England Patriots media.
And what would you give?
That was there.
What's a round estimate for a normal Jags practice?
20.
Wow.
Now, there were a few times where us here at the radio station were in double digits.
Yeah, we make up half of the crowd at least,
right.
Probably.
But, and listen,
it's just a different world, man.
It is, but you got one newspaper here. You've got a website.
One radio station, pretty much.
Right.
You know, in New
England, a couple
England,
of TV stations.
3 of everything.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't think that would be a factor for him because, you know, I'm sure Bill Belichick, where he's been, he's going to say nothing can be as bad as it was in Boston, and that where there are legitimate contrarians. Dallas has a few, but Dallas has been through such a long period of time where they have not won a Super Bowl. They haven't won a Super Bowl since what? 1995? Yeah. That's a long time coming. That's 30 years. That's when the franchise began here. So it's something to certainly keep your eyes on. And, you know, hey, this goes away with a win. You beat Houston, this goes away. Then you match up with Indy, you match up with Chicago, you match up with New England. I mean, they have a chance to go on a roll here. They do. But I gave you some numbers at the top, and it's staggering. Right?
Yeah, they win this week, and I fully expect them to win the next few.
It's what this city needs. You know? It is. It's what this city really does. I think the city's thinking the other way. I think their thought is you lose here.
Yeah, that too.
Did Gus Bradley I was on the plane when Gus walked around and said goodbye to us all. I think it was in Houston where he got fired. They fired him there. I mean, you don't fire the guy on the road and put him back on the team. I mean, come back here and fire him, right? Isn't that the way to do it? I mean, Jerry Maguire fired him. Jerry Maguire got fired in a restaurant, right? Poor Gus Bradley got fired in Houston. They let him back on the team play, and he walked around and thanked us all. I'm like, man, I feel so bad for this guy.
So it was before the end of the season. There was 2 games left. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was December. There were still 2 games left after that.
All right, we got to take a break because Philly Godfather is coming up. Let's take a look at the big games, including Georgia and Bama, and certainly the Jaguars as they go and take on the Houston Texans. The Philly Godfather's next.
Hello, you're on the air. There's more to 1010XL than radio. 1010XL is multimedia. All communication lines are clear. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Find 1010XL on your social channels. Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
Teal and Black looked to make some noise early in the second half and definitely made their presence felt coming out of the halftime break. Thanks to an 8-play, 70-yard drive led by Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville would get their first touchdown of the contest on Monday night. The 3-minute, 45-second drive is your Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game.
Hey, John, my dad, Randy Marion's gone absolute Cadillac crazy. You won't believe our Escalade lineup.
Well, how crazy we talking, Jennifer?
Buckle up, folks. We've got over 35 Cadillac Escalades.
35 Escalades? That's luxury overload.
I'm talking fully loaded models, cutting-edge tech, and that signature Cadillac style.
And the deals are even more luxurious. $4,000 Escalade loyalty rebate.
Plus 5% off MSRP on retired courtesy vehicles. Head to Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
Plus tax tag title $899 MNP and resist all.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a dust bunny breeder from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Steve Johnson.
Welcome to the show, Steve.
It's great to be here, Alex.
Yeah, you don't have to answer it in the form of a question, Steve.
What is this game show?
See, that's another question.
Are you going to ask me about air conditioners?
Yeah, okay. How about we just send the Bueller guys over and you can annoy them with all your questions? Johnny?
That's right, Steve. Bueller Air and Plumbing can answer all your air conditioning questions, repair options, replacement models, and how to make your AC last longer while saving electricity, making sure you are cool.
Where is the parking lot?
You're killing me, Steve.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started. At stonecore.co, we do outdoors better.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 26, 1996, San Francisco Giants' Barry Bonds becomes the second MLB player to hit 40 home runs and steal 40 bases in a season.
Hey, this is Bert Cannon with the First Coast YMCA. Youth sports at the Y can help nurture your future athlete's potential and experience the joy of being a kid. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, and fun environment with basketball, soccer, volleyball, gymnastics, elite skills training, and more. Best of all, participation in Legacy Youth Sports League is free with your family membership. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
Grab your lucky spot on the couch, because traditions make Sunday easy to enjoy. Bud Light.
Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hayes Carlyon from MyBookie. Our listeners continue to bet and win big with MyBookie. If you haven't bet with MyBookie yet, they are still running the double deposit bonus. Just sign up with promo code 1010XL. We have a huge week starting with college and NFL games on Thursday night. Get signed up now for Virginia Tech traveling to Miami. The Hurricanes are a 17-point favorite with an over-under at 55.5 at MyBookie. With the way Miami's been scoring, covering that spread looks like no problem. And how about a Thursday night football division matchup? The Cowboys travel to New York to take on the Giants. The Giants are 4.5-point home underdogs. If you think they can keep this one close, take those 4.5 points with the Giants. For a limited time, MyBookie is bringing back the double deposit bonus. Use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit. Double your money with 1010XL before you even place a bet. Bet anything, anywhere, anytime, and make your season a winning season at MyBookie.
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASE certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Jacksonville contractors and business owners. Do you need chain link fence, commercial steel, or rolling doors? Frank Frangi here. Coyle & Sons has been in business in Jacksonville since 1927. They've earned the reputation of quality and specialized skill. Coyle & Sons are the ones trusted in Jacksonville by the top contractors, and they can stand on their reputation when you need almost 100 years of commercial contractor experience. So contact Coyle & Sons today. That's 904-356-4821 or visit them at coiljacks.com.
This is Dr. Turner Vossler, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
As the Jaguars offense has been dragging their feet to start the first 3 games of the season, it's been no help that they have been without one of their centerpieces of the offense, Evan Ingram, the last 2 weeks. Ingram caught only 1 pass for 5 yards in Week 1 against Miami and missed the last 2 games with a hamstring injury. The Jaguars would love to have him back against Houston this Sunday, as he is still day-to-day. Here's Ingram when asked about his return.
Pretty optimistic. Just still taking it day by day, and it's based on how I feel. It's still pretty early in the week, so just doing everything I can with the trainers and listening to things they have to say and their input on it. And at the end of the day, it's how I feel. So we'll see.
I'm Max Fink here with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line. Hello. We can wiggle it.
Brotherly love. That is where we head. Let's bring in the great Philly Godfather. He is a fixture here and has been for years on your home of the Jaguars. He joins Rick Ballou. Mr. Godfather, always a pleasure, sir.
Thanks for having me on, Rick, man. Getting ready for this Thursday night game. I took a little Giants +6. Hopefully they show up. I think that Cowboys pass defense a little banged up. I think they should have some success. I took some Danny Dimes over 200 passing yards if you guys want to get down.
Danny Dimes +200. A lot of pressure over in Dallas right now on Mike McCarthy. A lot of pressure here on your old friend Doug Peterson in Jacksonville. It's always interesting to see how a team responds when they know their coach is up against it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember the last time the Jags got blown out so bad. And I was actually about to put them on my do-not bet list moving forward until the defense got healthy, but they're pulling me back in again, Rick.
Oh, really? All right. We'll get there in one moment, but let's begin with the Friday night tilt. What a huge number in a one-time pretty good rivalry between Virginia Tech and Miami. Miami has been just dominant so far this year. What do you make of the big number here between these two?
Yeah, it is a big number. It opened up 16.5 at some of the sharper offshore books, and then this line reached as high as -20. before there was some resistance that hit the screen at plus 20. Pushed the price back down to 17.5, 18, depending on which sports book you used. The total has also seen a 2.5-point dip from 56.5 down to 54.5, 54. And I've been bullish on the Hurricanes from the jump. I mean, this Miami team has been a moneymaker all year. They're 4-0 against the opening Vegas number and 3-1 against the closing price. And their 4 wins have been by an average of 42 points. So they're a really good team. Virginia Tech, on the other hand, I mean, they're 1-3 against the spread this season, 2-2 straight up. Offensively, the Hokies' biggest strength this year has been their run game. They've ran for about 755 yards on the ground in 4 games, but they're going up against a Miami run defense that ranks 8th in the nation in opponent yards per rush attempt, and they're number 1 in the ACC in that metric. When you compare the quarterbacks, not even close. Cam Ward, he's the odds-on favorite right now to win the Heisman at plus 450. I think Jones you get him at 120 to 1, and he's not scaring any opposing defenses. He's thrown for 765, 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, while Ward has been lighting up. He's over 1,400 yards passing. So this is a tough game to handicap for me. When you look at the raw numbers, another big weakness has been the Hokies' offensive line. They've given up 10 sacks on the season, while the Hurricanes' defensive line, I mean, they've already sacked their opposing quarterback 16 times in just 4 games. But with that said, I think Virginia Tech is possibly the toughest team Miami has faced so far, with the most expected wins on the season. Continuity with this Hokies team. I mean, their roster remains largely the same from last season. They brought back about 86% of the players that played at least 300 snaps last year. So, I mean, they're not a bad team. If you look at the bet splits, I never want to be on the public side. The whole world's bet Miami. As of right now, 65% of the action is on the Hurricanes. That's just going to go up by kickoff. The right side, with the right price, Virginia Tech plus 20 is the right side. If you're going to take the road dog here, you got to grab at least 17.5. So I think you still cash your ticket at 17.5 or 18. But I think you can wait.
No.
Number might go up. And I like the under 54.5 as well.
All right, under 54.5. Yeah, I was wondering what the betting public was gonna be here. I figured they would be pulling for Miami. I thought the untold story of last week, I watched that entire game, is that South Florida was a good football team, and Miami just destroyed them. So we'll see. Vatech coming off a tough loss, plus 17.5, says the Philly Godfather. All right, Florida State got up and left today for Dallas to take on SMU. They were scheduled to leave tomorrow, but because of everything that is happening with the Hurricane, Florida State finally gets their first win, but they find themselves an underdog at SMU.
Yeah, the market here has moved in favor of this SMU team. We've seen this price open at -5. It's up to 6.5. The Mustangs actually have a pretty good team, with their only loss coming to BYU this season. But this game gets to 7. I'm going to be on Florida State. I was on them last week. I'll probably be on them again this week. I think there's just too many points here, regardless of, Seminoles' 1-3 record. SMU has one of the worst pass rushes in college football, ranked almost dead last when it comes against sacks. They also have an issue stopping the run. And as long as Florida State can limit their turnovers like they did against Cal and Georgia Tech, they got enough talent to stay within the Vegas number here and possibly upset SMU, man. I like them plus 7. And to be honest, I think they can win the game outright.
12, 13, and 14, that is their offensive input in the last 3 weeks. I'm with you. I think that they have to play a very clean game, and you nailed it, run the ball. I mean, SMU put up 66 points, but they also gave up a ton. And if Florida State can settle down and run it and move the football, I think they have a chance here. So we'll see what ends up happening. What would it now be in Thursday night, how much movement there is before this kickoff on Saturday night. Philly Godfather, throw your info out there, please, for our listeners.
Yeah, you can find me on X at Philly Godfather. You can stop by my website, thephillygodfather.com.
Georgia, Alabama. Saturday night, what an opportunity this is going to be to cash a check, because it's basically a pick-em. I know it's around -2 for the most part, but in my world, that's pretty close to being a pick-em. It comes down to what team you like the best. Which way you going?
Yeah, I mean, Kirby Smart's team, they opened up a slate. 1.5-point road favorite at Tuscaloosa. Line jumped up to as high as 2.5. It's back painted 2 across the screen. Some of the sharp books in Vegas actually did lower the line back to 1.5. So there's some sharp money coming in on Alabama. It's been a small sample size this season, but Alabama is 3-0. Their average margin of victory has been 40 points per game. The competition hasn't been the best. Western Kentucky, a pretty gritty South Florida team, and Wisconsin. Well, if you look at who Georgia played, they smoked Clemson by 31 points as 14-point favorites. They beat up on Tennessee Tech, and then they struggled. At Kentucky, it seems like they always struggle against Kentucky.
Right.
And they were really lucky to walk out of there with a win, right? I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, I watched it,
You know?
yeah. You're right. And I thought Georgia got taken to the woodshed in the ditch, both on the offensive and defensive line against Kentucky.
Yeah, when you look at the box score, Kentucky had 11 more first downs, 68 more rushing yards, and the Wildcats lost the turnover battle. So they were lucky to win. When I compared the teams, I think Alabama's defense is better than Kentucky's, and you have a quarterback in Milroe that can use his legs and beat you with his arm, and currently has the third best odds to win the Heisman behind Cam Ward at Jackson Dart. So Milroe at 7-1. If he beats Georgia here, he might end up the odds-on favor with Cam Ward, to win the Heisman moving forward. I also think the Crimson Tide can run the ball much better than Kentucky did against Georgia. Alabama definitely still has a top 5 offensive line. Alabama ranks in the top 10 in the nation in yards per rush attempt, while Kentucky is around 70th in that metric. I like Alabama here, plus 2.5. I took them on the money line. I think the wrong team's favorite. I mean, I could be wrong when I compare to these two teams, but defensively, I give a slight edge to Georgia, which I think is right. But at QB, I think Milroe is the better quarterback, better than Beck. He can also beat you with his legs. Offensively, Georgia put up 34 points against Clemson defense that ranks 98th in the nation in opponent yards per play, so that didn't really impress me. But again, they struggled to score against Kentucky's defense that ranks 16 spots below Alabama in that metric. I think Alabama's offense is better than Georgia's too, and that's why I took the points here. I think the wrong team's favorite.
Oh, wow. All right. There you have it. The Philly Godfather going to play money line Bama and also plus 2.5 against Georgia. Let's wrap it up with one game in the NFL. It's the struggling Jaguars at 0-3. They go to Houston. They take on a Texas team that is, well, Philly Godfather, thoroughly embarrassed last Sunday by Minnesota.
Yeah, just like in the movie. Every time I think I'm out, Jags pull me back in. I took plus 7 on the Jags. I mean, I'm a glutton for punishment here. The line originally opened up Houston 4.5. We reached 7, and that's when I jumped into the market on Road Dog. I mean, we got two teams playing each other. Just got blown out by a combined 64 points. So, in my opinion, neither team should be laying almost a touchdown against anyone in the NFL. I mean, both these teams are banged up. The Jags are really banged up on defense, but the Texans are really hurt on offense. They're missing. And I heard Tank Dell ain't going to play. Mixon, I don't think he's playing. Pierce ain't playing. It's a divisional game. The entire season is on the line here for Dougie P. To be honest, I think the game's a coin flip with everyone that's banged up on both sides. And the Jags got to win here because then they play another division game next week. I mean, this is everything. They got to win here. You're giving me 6.5, 6, 7 points. I'm taking the Jags.
Take the Jaguars plus the 7. As you say goodbye, Philly Godfather, once again, please, your information for our listeners.
Yeah, you can find me on X at Philly Godfather, or you can stop by the phillygodfather.com.
Best of luck with all your plays.
Good luck, guys.
There he goes, Philly Godfather, just like that. Wow, he's picking Bama. Bama, the money line, too. Huh? How about that? And he thinks Bama can run it better than Kentucky. Remember, Kentucky ran the ball against Georgia for 170 yards. And if you didn't watch that game, because I know it didn't maybe sound as attractive as, certainly nothing is as attractive as this game, but Kirby said it perfectly. Winning in the SEC, especially on the road, is very difficult. I mean, this is nothing that Georgia has to be embarrassed about. Maybe they were looking ahead. I think they'll have a much better effort, much better production. I'm going to go the other way here. I've said it all week. I think Georgia wins by 7-10. I just think Georgia's a better team. All right, but he is going with Alabama. Hey, to begin our 7 o'clock hour, let me give you the latest as far as injuries, not only in Jacksonville, but Houston as well. Philly Godfather just brought up an interesting point. I do have an update. That's coming up as we begin things here at 7 o'clock. If you want to join the program, the best way for you to get on in is our text line. That number is 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
You're here because you know something. What do you know you can't explain? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you want to know what it is.
1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Imagine driving a late model Corvette, BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, Honda, Chevy, Ford, and more, all at a fraction of the original sticker price. Visit Vaughn Motor Group's indoor showroom and browse a great selection of dream cars that are inspected with warranties. Before you make your next auto purchase, check out Vaughn Motor Group on San Jose Boulevard or at vaughnmotorgroup.com for a complete inventory listing. If you can dream it, you can drive it at Vaughn Motor Group.
I'm Taylor Rose with our Remedy Staffing Westside office off of Normandy Boulevard. We are helping great people find great jobs. Remedy has helped some of the best employers in Jacksonville find talented job seekers like you for over 25 years. Our current job openings range from entry-level distribution center pickers to equipment operators. Apply today at remedygoodjobs.com. Don't wait. Apply at remedygoodjobs.com now.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Best Bet is number one. That's right. Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park have one card poker, the fastest and easiest card game to learn and play. Play against a designated player, one card at a time, and the highest card wins even money. If the card values are the same, it's time for war. Just like the game you remember. You must be 18 years or older to play. More at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Hey Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida, and don't let the state decide your fate.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey everyone, it's football season and we wanted to go to the drawing board to make this year's predictions. Let's compare our two blonde all-stars. Most touchdowns, best pricing in the market. Most passing yards, gives the most for your trade. Most receptions, free oil changes with every purchase. Super Bowl champion, wow customer service. This looks like a winning season for everyone. Come see Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville where you can score big all season long.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Everything about the game has changed, except for the most important thing. What you have inside. It is what drives the game. It refuses to be ignored. It sweats everything, turns an athlete into a legend. Gatorade. Is it in you?
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Light, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
What's changed totally inside and out? The Kuhn Flowers massive storefront, and yes, they've totally remodeled the showroom inside too. This is Frank Frangie, and the next time you drive by, stop and smell the roses at Kuhn Flowers.
Bug City AC, keep it
Jacksonville, cool down with Bold City Heating and Air. From repairs to energy-efficient installs, we do it all. Your system worked hard all summer long to keep you cool. Give it a spa day. Schedule a system tune-up. Call Bold City Heating and Air today and experience the bold difference.
Bold City AC, keeping you cool. Bold City AC.
Visit boldcityac.com.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists returns with their free bumps and bruises evaluation clinics. Now with 4 locations, these free injury assessments are open to all schools and athletic programs. Saturday mornings from 9 to 10 through October 26th at Cortex Sports Performance in Ponte Vedra, Preferred PT in Fleming Island, and also at Brooks Rehab on Centurion Parkway and Brooks Rehab at World Golf Village.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Be safe, people. Drive safe. Not a lot of folks on the road today. School is out. A lot of companies shut things down. Hope you're safe. Hope folks in other parts of our state are safe as well. And even out of our great state. I don't know. I'll let you answer this, JJ. I think there'd be a lot of ways to describe me as far as adjectives or whatever it may be.
Genius, beautiful.
Right. How about nerd?
Like about what?
Numbers.
Okay, I'll give you that one. Stats.
Numbers, trends, and this really goes back to my gambling background. It does. And, you know, I give you the disclaimer all the time. I haven't bet in 10 and a half years. I will again at some point. I got to get in the failed relationship, right? And I got to be kind of by myself. Did I tell you I hit that scotch hard the other night? I know we haven't had a chance to talk about it.
Yes, you did bring that up.
After the Blue Crab House on Friday night. Okay, I was out with a bunch of friends. We had just an incredible time.
And you dropped a pretty big, you had a pretty big tab.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Actually,
that's a good guy.
South African Kenny picked up the tab this past Friday night. I mean, that was something that was new. That was the first time for him. All right. But, and then they were heading out to some, they were going to go clubbing because Jacksonville's all about great clubs, right? And my GF and I, who doesn't drink, we're just like, nah, it's been a long week. And
not your scene.
I just want to, I'm kind of want to take it easy and watch football because I'm heading off to Buffalo. But we go by this place and we pull in and the bartender's very, very friendly. She's just she's a dream. Okay. I'd say she was 30, so that's too old for me. But anyway, we do a shot of tequila, right?
Uh-oh.
And then I said, I've been talking about this, I said, with some buddies. I've never been a scotch guy. So she starts whipping out all these different scotches and gives me little samples of different. But every time she did it, it was like nearly a shot. It wasn't a little just wet your whistle. But I found myself.
What a great bartender.
Oh, she was outstanding. She was incredible. Again, she's a little old for me, 30.
Old.
But I found for the first time, scotch may be my go-to. So I can see myself in a few years alone, angry, with scotch.
And calling a bookie.
Betting on games.
Yes. That's all it would take.
Just not going to do it this weekend.
Your
not
life
gonna do
really
it yet.
hasn't fallen apart.
But, man, that scotch the next morning, I mean, I felt it in the stomach. And it wasn't a bad feeling, but it was obvious it was there. I never get that with Irish whiskey.
Right.
And until I put a bunch of food in my gut, it just happened to remain.
You might need to give me a couple brands off air.
Yes, I got a couple of good ones. Again, I won't publicly. If you don't spend money on the top billing radio station in Jacksonville, you don't expect a freebie from me.
Amen.
Okay. By the way, I chased them all down with Miller Lights. Ice cold, frosty Miller Lights. Jaguars have no turnovers. This is how I brought it up about me being a nerd. I was crunching numbers today. Okay, to me, I've always been a big stickler with turnovers, takeaways, time of possession, whatever it may be. The Jaguars so far this year, I think the number that is most frightening of all is 21.9% on third down. They're 7 of 32. And again, I've never really taken that, that's going to be the way I go tonight. I'm going to come out here and tell my listeners the Jags are 7 for 32 on third down. That'll get them to come back and listen tomorrow night. It's never, but it's been like my own little way of trying to break down who I would play back when I really was a gambler. Takeover ratio is huge. I mean, the Jaguars, on the surface, if you say quick, they've done a nice job protecting the ball. All right, Trevor threw a horrible pass where he actually was getting good protection. The overthrow and the pickoff by Hamlin was just a big-time miss, and then we all remember the ETN fumble that went into the end zone against Miami. But, every team in the NFL right now has a takeaway except for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I found that a little bit alarming. And we're also getting to the point now where the sample size, I think you're starting to get some accuracy. If you heard the Philly Godfather, he talked about the lack of competition that Georgia had faced this year. Well, there's no lack of competition in the NFL. Okay, all 32 teams, you can be better than the other, whatever. But it's solid data, if that makes any sense. And again, the numbers that stick out, and they're so blatantly obvious to me, and I'm actually surprised that they don't get more attention, is your scoring offense and your scoring defense. If you quickly were to look at the Jaguars, you would see that they're 27th overall in the NFL on offense, and they're 26th overall on defense, okay? I don't look at overall. Overall is total yards. What's more important, total yards or points scored, points allowed? Again, it's the one number in football I have never really been able to fully embrace. So let's look at what's most important. That's scoring offense and scoring defense. The Jaguars are 30th in pro football. They're averaging 13.3 points a game. Houston, 21st in pro football, averaging 18.3 points a game. Defensively, even though the Jaguars were good enough to win against Cleveland and good enough on that side of the ball to win against Miami, they got crushed by Buffalo. They're allowing 28.3 points a game. That is 28th in the NFL. Houston, who as well got crushed this past week by Minnesota, still 23rd in pro football with an average of giving up 24.7. So I think that those numbers are really important when you look at the measurables. And I know that those are basic numbers. There's other things that you can absolutely get into, all right? But these are kind of the meat and potato numbers. Are you going to take on a team and play a team that is scoring 5 points less than your opponent and giving up 4 points more than your opponent, okay? Again, it's 3 games. You can make what you want out of it because both teams were blown out last week. I just think it's something to consider. Regardless, the Philly Godfather just told us moments ago he does think the play in this game is Jacksonville +7. And covering's one thing. I mean, you want to win a game. And you want to get to 1-3. And then you turn around, you take on Indy, and you hope you have success there. Then you go to London, you take on a couple of teams that you should be able to beat in Chicago and New England. So anyway, that is the very latest there. Devin Lloyd was put on the injury report today for the Jaguars. A DNP on this Thursday with a knee. That is terrifying, considering Foye Oluokun, as we know, is not going to play. With his foot, he's been a DNP for consecutive days. Evan Ingram did not practice again today for Jacksonville. So we played some comments from him a little bit earlier. Doug Peterson spoke on him as well. I think they're hoping for the best. right now, I certainly would not count on the tight end to be back. Hope I'm wrong, but I wouldn't count on it. Tank Bigsby, shoulder, limited both days. Darnell Savage, the quad, limited both days. There's a glimmer of hope there that he could be back this Sunday. Doug Peterson said so earlier in the week. Cam Robinson, a knee, limited both days. Gabe Shoulder, a shoulder. Gabe Davis, a shoulder, both days, limited. Anton Harrison, a knee, limited both days. Jarian Jones, a shoulder, limited both days. And Buster Brown, chest, limited on both days. All right, let's get to Houston. This is the other part of it now. The Texans are a beaten-up football team. Let's begin with their backfield. Both Joe Mixon and Dameon Pierce do not know if they're going to be able to give it a go, either one of the two. It's an ankle for Mixon, and he did not practice today or yesterday. The former Gator, Dameon Pierce, is well with a hamstring. He did not go today. He didn't go yesterday. They're two backup backs. Jaguar legend, Dare Agunabal. Well, I know how to say it. I said it forever. Agunabawale. Dare Agunabawale.
Agumbawale, I believe.
Dare Agumbawale.
Yes.
Okay. Jaguars legend, Dare Agunbawale, right? Is that right? Dare Agunbawale. Yeah, it is right.
Yes.
And Cam Akers. Cam Akers, 9 carries, 21 yards last week. Big Foley. Okay, he is now in Houston after being released here. A DMP on Wednesday, limited on Thursday. The very talented wide receiver, Tank Dell. The chest hasn't gone on either day. So right now, it looks like Tank Dell, Joe Mixon, and Dameon Pierce are not going to play. They did get some good news when it came to Dalton Schultz, okay? Dalton Schultz had an ankle. He was limited yesterday. He was back to full today. Let's see. The other guys are backups. That is Jarrett Patterson. So it really doesn't matter. Oh, hold on now. A starting offensive lineman in Kenyon Green was ill. All right, so he was limited yesterday, back today. So he was sick. He should be good to go. He is the left guard. And they have added one player to their list. That is Nico Collins with a hamstring. He was added today. So we've had 2 Thursday added injuries, one on each side. Nico Collins, the hamstring in Houston, and Devin Lloyd with the knee back here in Jacksonville. So that is a little bit concerning that would happen to both of these players during the practice week. I don't know if I mentioned Jimmy Ward. Let me put him in there as well with a groin. He has actually been downgraded. So here we go again. All right. Jimmy Ward, their starting strong safety with a groin injury, limited on Wednesday. Well, today he did not practice. So by the time we're on the air tomorrow on Friday, we'll have, the final injury report, and we should know. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Texans in doubt. And I'll say really 3 Jaguars in doubt, because I believe, and I think you do as well, Foyer's out, right? I got to believe Evan Ingram is out. So I think the 3 guys that really come into play here are Devin Lloyd, which is brand new. Certainly the return of Darnell Savage is one that is very important. And, the other I would say is Jarian Jones. But the way Doug Peterson described the injury to Jones, only played 6 snaps on Monday night. It felt as though he would be good to go. So maybe it really is only 2 as opposed to 3. But, yeah, the deeper we get into the season, more important it does become as to what is going on health-wise with both of these teams. So there you go. That is the very latest. 641-1010. That is the Best way for you to get in. Oh, my goodness. Look at the text line. It is absolutely burning up. Let's get to some of you on the other side. I feel like we've gone a day or two without getting a lot of reaction from you on the text line. We'll do that on the other side. Again, if you want to get in, 641-1010, that is how you do it. It is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
It's not a pirate ship station.
You must be a pirate for the Pirates Code to apply, and you're not.
It's a flagship station of the Jaguars. 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
If you suffer from constant burning, tingling, or numbness in your hands or feet, it could be a serious condition called neuropathy. I'm Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC with Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra. Neuropathy is treatable, and we have seen great results by using state-of-the-art, non-invasive therapies to target damaged nerves, reduce symptoms, and improve nerve function. Call 904-395-5598 to schedule your free consultation today and learn how you can live pain-free. Call 904-395-5598.
Integrity, persistence, and standing up for victims. It's what you want in a personal injury case and what my friend and lawyer Glenn Cohen brings to every case for over 40 years. Call Glenn at Barnes, Cohen & Sullivan.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, let's talk about diamond cutting. How is a diamond price affected by the way it is cut?
Frank, that's probably the most important question asked about diamonds because the trade-off between a diamond cut for maximum beauty and one that's not is the diamond's carat weight. You see, diamond cutters buy rough diamonds based on quality and weight. So as they cut the rough diamond, everything cut away affects profits. However, there's specific known cutting parameters, and each deviation from these means they have a heavier, less beautiful diamond. Unfortunately, a customer can't detect all those cutting imperfections. They need expert help about a diamond's cut grade. You see, for any round diamond of a particular color, clarity, and carat weight, there are as many as 10 different prices that can vary by as much as 50%. At Underwoods, we look specifically at how a diamond's cut before we look at anything else, because it's the most important factor when it comes to a diamond's beauty, and to us, whether it should carry the Underwood name or not.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
Mia here. If you haven't bet with MyBookie yet, they are still running that double deposit bonus. Just sign up with promo code 1010XL and you will have a massive winning week. Start with college and NFL games on Thursday night. Get signed up now for Virginia Tech traveling to face those Miami Hurricanes. The Canes are 17-point favorites with a total at 55.5 at MyBookie. With the way Miami's been scoring, covering that spread should be no problem. And how about a Thursday night football divisional matchup? The Cowboys travel to face the Giants in New York. The Giants are 4.5-point home underdogs coming off of a win. If you think they can keep this one a close one, be sure to take the home dogs. For a limited time, MyBookie again is bringing back that double deposit bonus. Use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit. That's promo code 1010XL to double your money. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, and make your season a winning season with MyBookie.
This is Keith Scott with Veterans Wholesale Cabinets. We are Northeast Florida's cabinet experts and your best option to elevate your home improvement project for both homeowners and contractors, and attention to detail to every project. VeteransWholesaleCabinets.com.
Right now, they're on their way to ruin your day. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. And if you're not prepared, you will suffer. Yes, it's that time of the year. Heat and humidity are attacking North Florida. But help is at hand. Call Mike Merritt's Heating and Air Conditioning. Mike Merritt has a license to chill. and lets you maintain your comfort zone at a bargain price. How? Mike Merritt stands ready to help, routine or emergencies. And Mike Merritt knows emergencies can happen at any time. So with Mike, there's never any overtime charges. And Mike's team works without commissions. Merritt will never try to sell you parts you don't need. You can't trust just anyone with a truck. Call Mike Merritt, the company North Florida has trusted for 35 years. Call today. License number CAC 050384.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hang on to your brother, man, says Neil Young. President's Cup in Canada. Those Canadian waters are represented over at the Blue Crab Crab House. Assorted different crabs, right? Right now, $3 drafts. They'll continue to 9 o'clock tonight. So head on out there, right off of San Jose, Jointon Creek Road. Last night, the GF went out with her friends, brought me back the best salad in town, the Blue Crab Chef Salad. To go. You can have the to go. You just go to bluecrabcrabhouse.com or you can call them at 260-2722. I need to take you and your bride out there. You guys, you just keep telling me you can't make it every time I ask you.
Yeah, I'm here a lot.
I know.
Nights, sort of my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't trade it for anything, though.
Better than mornings.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right. Hey, you want some good news?
Please.
Guess who's number one on the waiver wire?
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Trent Baalke, get after it. I mean, you are the guy that can turn this thing around. I'm sure in Trent's world, he's going to tell us all that he has the talent here. Got to coach that talent. I look at the text line is one after another. And the reason why I say that is the first couple of weeks, it was still records from 2023. But now that you're 3 weeks in, it goes to your record so far in 2024. So Jags are number one on the waiver wire, which is kind of cool. Jags would also be number one in the NFL draft. I believe that is correct. I may be wrong there. And if so, I do apologize. Tennessee is undefeated. Tennessee is winless. Cincinnati is winless. So those are the three winless teams right now in the NFL. And I tell you what, this game is enormous for Houston. They win. They're 3-1. Jacksonville goes to 0-4. Indianapolis showed some life, certainly, a week ago. Let me see here. Coming up I was so focused on this game. Pittsburgh goes to Indy. All right. That's virtually a pick 'em. It's Pittsburgh favored by 1.5. It's going to be Fields again at Lucas Oil. And let's see here. Tennessee, for crying out loud. One of two games being played on Monday Night Football. It's going to be Tennessee now against Miami Dolphins. And the Dolphins really are struggling offensively since Tua went down. Well, the total there is 36.5 points. One of the lowest totals you're ever going to. And there's two of them this week. Cleveland at Las Vegas is 36.5.
It's exciting stuff.
What is that?
The NFL is really bad, like offensively right now.
And it's amazing with all the rule changes. You know what the most impressive thing is right now in the NFL? Honestly? Field goal kicking.
Everybody's got a guy who hits 55-yarders.
I mean, it's far and away. It's like, it's like bringing Vinnie Johnson off the bench or Andrew Toney. Or I mean, but that is not what the people want. What
if you get past the 50? I mean, you're only really 5 or 6 yards away from a field goal at this point. Every team's got one. It's pretty boring.
Whatever happened to all the great quarterback play and how you have all of these franchise quarterbacks that are going to throw 30 to 35 touchdowns, 3,500 yards. I mean, it is scary right now. If you look at this, touchdown pass leader so far, 3 weeks in, Sam Darnold is number one. Is there a talk show host in America who spent more than 15 seconds on Sam Darnold in the month of August? Number two, Josh Allen, thanks to his incredible Monday night. Derek Carr and Baker Mayfield, tied for third with 6. Patrick Mahomes, one of 4 guys with 5, with Rodgers, Burrow, and Murray. Dak Prescott plays tonight. He's only thrown 4 touchdowns in 3 games. Daniel Jones plays tonight. 4 touchdowns in 3 games. The great C.J. Stroud, 4 touchdowns in 3 games. It's frightening. In 300-yard games, we're just not seeing them anymore. And what is this league going to do? They've already totally taken away. Let me give you a great follow on Twitter. You can thank me for this.
Ballou 1010XL.
The Philly Godfather. Ballou 1010XL. Yeah, that is your greatest follow. Kevin Gallagher. It's at KEVG163. He's an NFL historian. And again, I use Twitter for just sports. And I go to other stuff and have friends and, Facebook and whatever it may be. I look at Instagram here and there. But I use Twitter or X strictly for sports. Kevin Gallagher drops NFL film on here all the time. And it will take you back into the decade of like the 70s and the 80s. And I know, here we go again. We're going to hear about. No. Watch it and look for the way that quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs were treated back in that era. Okay? If you've never researched it, if you've never seen it, it will literally blow your mind. To you youngsters out there, if you're in your teens or your early 20s and you've just never researched it, you are going to be shocked to see how quarterbacks used to get just physically pounded and what they did to running backs and wide receivers. The whole entire NFL has changed their look to benefit more scoring. And we're just not getting it. I mean, we see it in basketball. We've seen it in hockey. They got rid of the red line in hockey, right? We see it in baseball where they juice the ball, they juice the player, the brand new stadiums, they bring in the fences. That's what people want, right? People want a big, thick steak. You don't want a steak tip, right? You want a steak. People want quarterbacks that are throwing for 300-plus yards and 3 or 4 touchdowns. We're just not getting it right now. I still don't think it will affect, though, fans. I mean, you can have a bad product, and fans are still going to eat up this sport.
Oh, yeah. The NFL, I feel like, it's been a bad product for like 5 or 6 years now, and it's as big as it's ever been.
And we're going to get an 18th game. And what you're going to see with that 18th game is you're going to see more and more injuries. We just spent 20 minutes, or not 20 minutes, but we spent 5 or 6 minutes talking about significant injuries for both Houston and Jacksonville.
And it means one less preseason game than they already have, and they already don't play any of the guys in preseason. That's why, like, the first few weeks are like this, because this is the preseason for a lot of these guys. Back in the day, you would play at least a couple preseason games. Now it's like you might play a half.
I know you're down on Lamar Jackson. I have him graded much higher. 3 touchdowns in 3 games. Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdowns in 3 games. Now, Tua's been out. Love's been out. We never got an opportunity to see the kid out of Michigan, McCarthy. Never got an opportunity to see him.
But we get to see Darnold
in Minnesota. Caleb Williams, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's been rough.
I don't think Bo Nix has thrown one yet, starting quarterback in Denver.
Yeah, I'm not shocked.
I don't think he has. But I mean, the franchises, they're all resting on these guys. We've already seen what's happened in Carolina. where they've given up on Bryce Young. Now it's Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton,
I thought he was out of the league.
The guy tore it up last week. I mean, if Andy Dalton has a game this week like he did last week, if we were to happen to go back and do this next week, Andy Dalton's going to be like second or third as far as touchdowns.
In the league, yeah.
He threw 3.
By the way, back to Bo Nix. No touchdowns, 4 picks.
Yeah.
Rough start.
I began the show talking about the offense. And to consistent listeners, thank you. But I've been making this point forever. What I wish Trent Baalke did was pour all of his resources into the offense. And he tried to fix everything at once. And he did a decent job because they went 9-8 and they went to the playoffs. And then they went 9-8 again. But my thought on that, and it still is my thought, you can't possibly fix it all. I wanted to fix the offense. I wanted to outscore opponents 30-27 and say to yourselves, all right, you have one of the best offenses in the NFL. It has not worked that way. The biggest disappointment has certainly been that offensive line. And right now, Trevor Lawrence is, without any question, really pressing, really struggling. No pun intended. Let's get to Press Taylor today. I went and really explained the first 3 drives of the season and how they've netted 2 yards on the first 3 drives combined. Today, Jacksonville's offensive coordinator was asked that question.
Just taking advantage of every situation. I think every situation is very different as well. At Miami, I think we kind of busted an operation in terms of a movement play on the first play of the game, put us in second and 16 or something to start the game. The other night, I think on second down, we had a drop that puts it in third manageable and end up in third down. So every situation is very different. So I don't know if I'd necessarily say it's one thing. If we were able to do that and put our finger on it, we would certainly solve that right away. But, we look at each play as its own entity and try to figure out what went wrong or right on that play and how do we repeat that or correct it as we move forward.
All right, so that may sound like an excuse. It's not. It's the truth. But it still makes you wonder, why'd you give up a sack like that immediately in Miami? You just spent the last 9 months getting ready. Okay? Why do you have a drop? Why have the Jaguars led the NFL with 108 drops over the last, 4 years? I mean, fix it. Right? It's their full-time job. And if you don't fix it, you're gone. Now, I guess in this league, you're gone as well. I mean, it's a revolving door with all 32 teams. And they certainly have made significant changes at wide receiver. But you can't have those drops. We talked about wide receiver era. Again, the new math in the NFL. And 22% of the incompletions last year for Trevor Lawrence were because of wide receiver era. Drops. Lack of communication. Running the wrong routes. And it doesn't feel like this offense in Jacksonville is one that is beyond belief when it comes to being technical. It almost looks like they draw it up in the dirt. So, Press Taylor, I mean, and I know that most of you are really down on him, and that's fine. I'm not here to provide any backing for Press Taylor. But whose fault is that? Prisco put it out there the other day. They should have never gotten rid of Keenan McCardell. Well, okay, I saw Sanjay Lau come in here. He was the worst wide receiver coach I've ever seen. I was still the sideline reporter. Chad Hall now. Grab that responsibility. Listen, it's hard for me when you only see training camp, and certainly I was very I was very focused in the 8 years that I was the sideline reporter, okay? But the rules were report what you see, not what you hear. I heard a lot. Heard a tremendous amount. It's hard for me to look at coaches, position coaches, and say, boy, there's a really good coach, and there is not a really good. I tell you, the one coach that really stuck out for me and I thought was going to be phenomenal was Chris Richard. I mean, back of the end zone every play. And I was a Deshae Townsend fan, but a different style of coaching. So just to be able to recognize and identify, and I'm not talking about coordinators and head coaches. I'm talking about position coaches. Phil Rauscher was considered one of the up-and-coming, brilliant offensive line coaches in the game. That man's fighting for his job right now. This offensive line is terrible, and it's been terrible. There's no way to disguise how bad that offensive line has been. Now, they've done a decent job rushing the football, but the play calling has been bad, and maybe that's what it comes to. Phil Rauscher's thinking, well, wait a minute, let's run the ball. Why aren't we running the ball? The play calling has been mysterious. Right now, the Jaguars, according to Pro Football Focus, 29th in the NFL. How many times have I talked about that the last several years? That's actually good for them. They've been 30 or 31st. It's the 6th highest paid offensive line in pro football. And you got 2 guys hurt right now. You got 2 guys with knees. The tackles are playing far worse than the interior. And Cam Robinson allowed 8 pressures on Monday night. Where's his pride? 8 pressures. 2 sacks, one of them by a rookie, went right by him. There have been times this year where you talk about statue-esque. Guys making more than $1 million a game. Jaguars have allowed, let's see here, 38 pressures on 113 pass plays. 28th in the NFL in pass blocking efficiency. Trevor's running with his head. Trevor needs to get better. Okay? But listen to what Press said. He got sacked immediately by Calais Campbell in Miami. You had a drop on Monday night. He's not getting the help. And I'm not here to defend Trevor Lawrence. He has to get better. 9 sacks through 3 weeks. They've allowed the second most in the NFL. I mean, every single number. If these numbers were a restaurant, the restaurant would be closed. Okay? If this restaurant was a firm, it would be shut down. They're not doing anything right. And I hate it for you. I'm not happy. I'm not sitting here happy. I mean, I thought they would begin the year 1-3. I really did. But I didn't think it would be like this. You know, and I thought they would win 5 of their last 6 and backdoor their way into the playoffs with a record of 10-7. I mean, 10-7? Playoffs? How can you say 10-7 now after what you've seen? But I don't know what this organization is going to do. They need a win so bad. And I'm going to remember, let me leave you with this before we head to this break. I was with Demetrius, Harvey, and Mike DeRocco at Josh Allen's locker on Monday night. And the final thing he said is, we just need to get one win. And then you're going to see a bunch of them after. And I'm paraphrasing here. But it stuck with me because fantasy for 30 seconds. Let's say they win Sunday. Let's say they knock off Houston. They've won the last 2 times there. All of a sudden, you got a home crowd here that will be amped. As pissed as you are right now, they knock off Houston, you will be fired up for Indy. And then you go to London, which we all can't wait for. I mean, aren't we lucky? We get to play at 9:30 in the morning in consecutive weeks in London. Well, Duval just loves it. Winnable games. Chicago and New England. Just got to win this one. Final thoughts on the other side.
Play-by-play sports just sounds better on radio. For high school, college, and pro sports play-by-play, turn on 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey everyone, it's football season and we wanted to go to the drawing board to make this year's predictions. Let's compare our two blonde all-stars. Most touchdowns, best pricing in the market. Most passing yards, gives the most for your trade. Most receptions, free oil changes with every purchase. Super Bowl champion, wow customer service. This looks like a winning season for everyone. Come see Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, where you can score big all season long.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Googa Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, there's a lab-grown diamond and jewelry sales event going on right now at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Monahan's is known for its natural diamonds and gemstones, but we've had so much demand for lab-grown diamonds that now through the end of September, Monahan Jewelers is having a lab-grown diamond and jewelry sales event. We've brought in a huge selection of lab-grown diamonds and jewelry to meet this incredible demand. Lab-grown diamond sales event now through the end of September at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Mia O'Brien.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
On Helmets and Heels, noon to 2.
I swear to you, I know her.
Then there's the 1010XL video and social media channels.
I would know her voice anywhere.
All Things Mia is driven by Arlington Toyota.
On 1010XL.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving, they can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Here's your 1010XL community calendar of local events and nonprofit groups helping people here at home.
Help make Jacksonville safer and play a round of golf at the First Coast Crime Stoppers Golf Tournament, October 21st at Amelia River Club.
If you're a dog lover who wants to help animals, our furry friends need exercise and time out of their kennels. You can make a difference in a dog's life at volunteer@jackshumane.org.
There's a critical need for all blood types. Please consider donating to a local blood donation center.
Dreams Come True is the only local wish-granting organization giving dreams and special times to local children battling life-threatening illnesses. Find out how you can help at dreamscometrue.org.
Her Song is a nonprofit organization that breaks the cycle of human trafficking through survivor care, victim outreach, and education. Find out how you can help at hersong.org.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com.
Duck Duck Rooter provides plumbing, septic, and air conditioning services across the First Coast. We have the ability to travel straight to you when you need it most. We have our community covered. Duck Duck Rooter technicians are your neighbors, friends, and family. We know you best. Understand what sets us apart from the rest. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit Award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees, and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Hey, Hicken here. Are you tired of having your carpets professionally cleaned only to have them looking dingy again? Zero Res can help. I'll tell you what, they have the technology. Zero Res uses its patented ZR water that cleans beautifully without using any soaps, detergents, or shampoos. That means zero residue left behind. And guess what? Zero Res falling back in time for September. 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129, and we'll clean a 4th room for free. That's right. The 4th room is on me. Zero Res, man. Spell it forward. Zero Res, spell it backwards. It's the right way to clean.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Unfortunately, I have bad news. Devin Lloyd did not practice today because of a knee. This comes on the heels of the foot injury of Foye Oluokun. So it could be a Ventrell Miller, Chad Muma linebacker game. Houston is beaten up as well. Tank Dell looks like he could be out. Their top 2 running backs, Mixon and Pierce, could be out. So both teams really wounded at this particular time. We'll have a full report. Hey, quick update. No high school football tomorrow night, so we're on 6 to 8. Monday, which I'm already fired up for because I'm going to roll in here with the Jaguars' victory on Monday. I can feel it right now. They're going to high octane. They're going to get more than 1 yard on their first drive Sunday in Houston. We're going to be on 2 to 4 in the AM. I feel like Charlie Huff, or I feel like one of the Necros, or I feel like Wilbur Wood, or the late Tim Wakefield. Just tell us when and where, right? And we're ready to go. Spot starts, mop up, long relief, 6 innings, 7 innings, 9 innings, 3 batters. I don't know. No matter what it is, we're going to do it, and that's going to be Monday, 2 to 4 on the AM. So that should be a lot of fun. 5351 got a ton of good stuff from you folks today. I didn't get an opportunity to get to many of you. I responded to quite a few, but wanted to read some out. 5351, based on how inept we look, there has to be more going on behind the scenes with Bulky and Peterson. Is the relationship toxic? Yes. That would be my answer. How can it not? Tremendous egos in the business. And that is part of what is going on. As I have always maintained, Doug Peterson was not Trent Baalke's guy. And now that it's gone sideways, there's going to be some finger pointing. I know you don't want to hear this because I listen to you. I do. That's why I bring up the text line all the time. JJ and I talk about it before the show, during the show, breaks, or whatever. I mean, I do. I listen. When I'm not talking, I listen. And Peterson could get fired if they lose Sunday. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. It doesn't make any sense right now. Where are you going to go? Mike McCoy? I just, no, I wouldn't do it. I hope they win. And it takes the pressure off a little bit. But even if they do lose, I think you win against Indy in both games in London, so I wouldn't do it. Now, if you lose them all, then sure. That's probably when you make a move. But I wouldn't right now. The other side of the equation is I firmly believe this. Baalke's not going anywhere. He's in the ear of Shad Khan. And I think the receipt that he has that is more important than anything else, I don't believe Trent Baalke wanted Doug Peterson. And that is the main calling card that he can go back to Shad Khan and say, see, I told you, we should have gone in a different direction. Should have hired Matt Eberflus. Should have brought in someone. This is my belief. And I've talked to people about it. Do I know? Now, let me be crystal clear. Do I know this as fact? Hell no. It's my opinion. Sourced, but it's my opinion. I never believed it, that Peterson was the pick for Bulky, and I don't believe it now. And I think when it's all said and done, Peterson's gone, Bulky survives.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
We got some great football tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday night, Sunday. How about Bama being favored in 117 consecutive home games? Georgia rolls in a 2-point favorite.
Oh, it's an absolutely enormous game. Great opportunity for Carson Beck and Georgia, who their last time out, they survived Kentucky. Alabama's looked very good post Nick Saban. This will obviously be their toughest test by far. Now, that'll be a good one on ABC Saturday night. I'm still kind of getting used to that, the CBS thing for years and years and years.
I miss them.
I do too. But I love having Herb Street and Fowler on the SEC games now. Okay. But there was something about Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson on the call.
I'm going to have to go to with volume, I'm going to have to go to my buddy Tim Brando. He's with me every week. And you match a Big Ten clash between Rutgers and the University of Washington.
Oh, man, that's something.
Come
Absolutely.
on. That's where Forrest is going to be, right? He'll probably check out that Bama Georgia game, but I know he's a big Rutgers guy.
I'll be going back and forth between those. And then, of course, you got the big ACC tilt between Florida State and SMU out in Dallas.
But that's... Oh, no, you know what? I made a mistake here. That's tomorrow night with Brando. My bad.
Yeah, Brando is tomorrow night. Yep.
Yeah, I was thinking of JJ's game with Vatek in Miami.
Yeah, that's tomorrow night as well.
Man.
Yeah.
Man, I just, massive, an unforgivable mistake.
You're all right, man. You're all right. Let me ask you. I mean, I know you know people over in the Big Bend area. Man, my brother's in Tallahassee. Yeah. I mean, they're battening down the hatches right now. And how's this? He calls me yesterday. He's like, dude, Cantori's 15 minutes from my house. Jim Cantori was right there in downtown Tallahassee. And then my stepfather owns a piece of property near the Swanee River. He goes to this restaurant on Cedar Key. That's where Weather Channel is doing their live shots tonight, about 30 minutes from my stepdad's farm. Man, it's going to be wild over there, man.
Yeah, I'll have it on tonight. Watching the game on Prime between Dallas and in New York and see, but I just hate it. I hate anyone that is in harm's way. It's awful, no doubt. And yeah, my brother's daughter is a freshman over there this year at Florida State. So a lot of these folks have packed up and gotten out of there, and that included the Florida State Seminole football team. They left a day early for Dallas.
I shouldn't say always, but I was one of the guys that usually we got all worked up over these storms and then nothing happened. And you would see the pictures of a chair blown over. We survived such and such storm. And then I saw my stepbrother's house get completely destroyed in Hurricane Ian 2 years ago. I will never do that again. Count your lucky stars every single time. None of these ever get to us.
I think it was Matthew that hit. I don't remember which one it was that got my good friend Charlie Jimerson on the other side of right over the river at Timuquana, destroyed his home.
Oh, yeah.
And that because Charlie and I were kind of in the same boat. It's like, I think people overreact, but then when you get hit and you see it, it is just so incredibly bad. So. The best to everyone. All right, what else? What do you got tonight?
Yeah, there's no doubt. Thoughts to everybody over in the Panhandle and the Big Bend area. Sports-wise here on Hacker After Dark, we got some good stuff. Seth Payne, former Jaguar, former Texan, Sports Radio 610 in Houston will join me. So will former Jaguar tight end Clay Harbor. He comes up in hour number one. It's a lot of Jaguars. And if there's ever a circle the wagons game,
oh boy,
if there's ever back against the wall, drop your you-know-what and go out there and play, this has to be it, right? We're going to find out an awful lot about this Jaguar football team Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, because Houston's gotten pounded too now. They got destroyed by Minnesota. So everything that Jacksonville's been hearing, Houston heard about it this past week. So which team is going to show up is going to be huge. All right, have a lot of fun.
Thanks, Rick.
That's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you to everyone. Again, high school football with the cancellations will be with you tomorrow night from 6 to 8. our regularly scheduled program. And, of course, we do move from 4 to 6 during high school football season. But that will not be the case tomorrow night. We'll be with you 6 to 8. And then on Monday, we'll be on the AM 2 to 4 with all of the reaction. Thank you to the Philly Godfather. Thank you to JJ LaSelva. My name is Rick Ballou. We'll talk again tomorrow. That'll be from 6 to 8 right here in your home of the Jags.
It sure is great living in the golf capital of the world.
Blue skies, fresh cut grass, birds chirping.
1010XL, Jacksonville's golf station.
Jeez, you love this golf stuff, huh? Oh, yeah.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle with lifetime warranty, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Best price, best payment, best trade-in value, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. With a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there is always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet. It's the sports book for every kind of player. Straightforward, simple enough for the first-time bettor, but built with all the features experienced players expect. Plus, try it now. If your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get a bonus bet back up to $100. Easy deposits and fast withdrawals. PayPal, Venmo, and more. All you have to do to get started is download the Hard Rock Bet app, go online, hardrock.bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned